This episode of the Gold Blooded Podcast is brought to you by mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag. Use promo code GOLDBLOOD, one word, to match up to 100% of your initial deposit.
3rd and 3. We'll see a pick of some kind on the right side, possibly. Montana looking, throwing in the end zone. It's a madhouse at Candlestick.
Think we're done? We're just getting started.
Young almost falls down, throws to the end zone.
It will change, and I'm not trying to tell you something. It's going to change. It's not like that. Okay, but I want you to understand where I'm coming from. It will change. And it will change because they wanted to change, not because of me. It will change because they want to be champions.
Smith in a gun with Gore in his left hip. 3rd down, Alex takes the snap. Alex looking, got it, post, and it's good! Touchdown, 49! Vernon Davis with the play of his life! It all comes to this 4th down. 4th and 4 at the San Francisco 10. Ryan in a shotgun. Rodgers to his left. 3 receivers right. Ryan takes the snap. Looking, pressure, throws middle. Broken up, fighting. Navarro Bowman. And the 49ers silence the house.
Fuck this, and fuck you people. I'm looking right now at Steve's fucking injuries. We were just having a nice conversation, and I'm fucking fired up. Do you people know that Josh Garnett only dislocated his toe? So that baby crying, the golf cart, the punch in the ground, the motherfucking, the disrespecting, just being a man, he dislocated his fucking toe. That is fucking disgusting.
Sounds painful.
Way to jump right into injuries, Joe.
Hold on. If I dislocated my toe, I would keep working, and I make $64 a day. This guy makes $64,000 a game, and he fucking got golf carted off the motherfucking field. We lost the game because we couldn't protect our quarterback because he had a dislocated fucking toe?
He makes a lot more than that. 64,000. I bet he makes triple that.
Yeah,
Easy.
probably.
1st round draft pick.
That's fucking horseshit. That is, I expected, after seeing him on that golf cart and the way he was carrying on, an ACL, an Achilles, a fucking groin, a broken hip. Like, he looked like he was in a fucking, that's fucking disgusting. What's up, gold-blooded cunts? How y'all doing?
So you're excited that he's not as hurt as you thought he would be?
Well, I mean, I guess it's good he's going to play again, but I mean, at what rate, you know? Oh, he pushed me. I'm going to have to sit out a series. I mean, who? I'm surprised his name's not the other guy, your boy, Foster, acting like that. This is fucking preposterous.
We are in mid-season form. As Joe would say, spewing the sewage.
I don't even believe that, like, all these day-to-days on these cunts. That offensive line's a real piece of shit.
Well, Joe kind of teased it, but I guess I'll just get right into injuries. Starting off, Dakota Watson, hamstring. He got put on IR before the game. Eric Magnuson, hamstring injury. He did not play. He's back at practice today. Malcolm Smith, hamstring injury, did not play.
I got to stop you there.
Okay.
Sorry. Malcolm Smith, I know I said this in the group text, will never play for the San Francisco 49ers.
That's not that bold of a statement. Because
he's never going to play. I'm telling you. I meant to say this, like, in the preseason. I'd been thinking it all summer, but I never, like... And now, I mean, everybody's sure I'm full of shit. But regardless, that would have been my bold statement, that Malcolm Smith will never play a game for the 49ers. So.
Yeah.
He's not going to play this week.
No.
If he's not practicing on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, it's rare that a player that doesn't practice at all on Wednesday, coming off of a game that he didn't play, actually ends up playing that.
Coming off of a season that he didn't play.
Yes.
And then coming off of a season when he wasn't with the team.
Well, except for the fact that in front of him is probably only Fred Warner right now.
Right, just for one more game.
For this week only.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play this week, it gets slimmer and slimmer.
Yeah.
Well, unless he comes in during one of Reuben Foster's 800 trips off the field per game.
So he's got
Or
a great
that.
shot to get out there. I'll definitely put it this way. He will never start a game for the 49ers, and I bet the barn he ain't never going to play. What a fucking waste. How much we give him? $8 million?
He got quite a bit.
You know, all this, don't worry, we got plenty of money. 5 years from now, we're gonna remember this cunt.
Well, it only hurts the cap this year if we get out of the contract. It's
Would have been better just to have the money in the wallet.
I don't see the logic in that, but okay.
Well, I don't see the logic in paying a guy that's never going to play.
I mean, it hurts Jed York's bottom line, but it doesn't hurt the team if you weren't going to spend it. Marquise Goodwin suffered a deep thigh bruise. He left the game. He tried coming back, couldn't go. He's day-to-day. He did not practice today, and he's questionable this week.
You know, he tried. I'll give him that. He rode the bike. He was at least making the effort.
That was definitely encorraging seeing him on the bike.
Everybody else
all right.
can suck my fucking dick hole.
Mike Person suffered a foot strain. He is day-to-day. Did not practice today, and he's questionable this week.
These injuries are fucking gross.
As Joe said before, Joshua Garnett dislocated toe day-to-day. No practice today, and he's questionable this week.
Can you please just tell me what your thought was when he went down and the display he put on? Tell me I'm not fucked up.
No, it definitely looked like a season-ending injury.
Right?
For sure.
Like, we've seen enough of them in the past few years.
Yeah.
We know what that looks like.
Reuben Foster was smiling at him somewhere, putting on that performance.
Let me ask you something. You ever stub your toe really hard?
Yeah?
What was your reaction to that?
Oh, it hurts really
You
bad.
just brushed it off, went back in, kept on doing what you were doing?
Of course not.
Well, you know.
But 10 minutes later, I kind of don't feel it anymore.
And I keep fucking going. I keep fucking chugging it, motherfucker. You plug along. You yell fuck, you take it out on the next guy. You kick the dog, you hit the wife, whatever it is. The next person feels it. You don't get on a golf cart and get carted off the fucking field that you're making $6.4 million a game or whatever the fuck he's doing.
Brock,
Right, now to the first actual injury.
Brock Coyle suffered a concussion and a broken bone in his back, which is a T4 compression fracture.
All right, can someone here explain it?
No doctors in the room.
It's a broken bone in his back. That's all I know.
He was put on IR, and he's not able to no contact for him for 6 weeks.
That could be, I mean, based on what I know, that could be a real fucked up thing. Like, I know Tiger Woods would have his back fused together.
Yeah,
like,
that's one of those things where it's like
Shanahan
he might not play ever again.
Yeah,
Shanahan
for sure.
said he will definitely be back this year.
Really?
That's what Shanahan said. Shanahan said he will definitely be back this year, or rehab this year. I forgot how he put it, but can't play football for 6 weeks at least, which is why they went.
And that's
with
a
IR.
really short timeline for a broken bone in your back.
Yeah.
You would think 6
Well,
months.
remember when it happened to Romo? They played it off and on and off.
And
And
that
on.
ended up
Yeah.
being the end of his career,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta believe that. I'm not saying Shanahan's a liar, but I don't know. My understanding of things like this, when they say numbers, like a number in a letter, like the T4, like it's the 3 disc or whatever, you're fucked. You're done.
In lieu of that injury, we signed linebacker Terrence Gavin, who bounced around and spent last year with Seattle. We promoted offensive lineman Najee Torah from the practice squad, and we signed wide receiver Frank Stevens to the practice squad.
Good old fucking everyday
Frank
garbage
Stevens.
man, fucking, mechanic Frank Stevens.
And so, nobody won the predictions. We all chose wins, and it was a loss 24-16.
It's a fucking mess.
I assume everybody here watched the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I
It's
did.
safe to say. Rob, you were pretty quiet during the game.
Yeah, when it starts getting negative, I have to go dark because it makes it not fun for
There
me
wasn't
to
much
watch.
negativity.
There wasn't a lot of negativity in the chat.
Debatable. But once it goes dark, I have to get out because otherwise I won't enjoy watching football.
Right.
And then I'm just not going to watch it. Like I want to enjoy watching football, and this team was in that game right until the end.
Yeah.
So I want to enjoy that, and then especially if there's a comeback, I don't want to be sourpuss, and then there's a comeback, and then I got to turn it around.
My
Like
feeling.
I got to keep it positive and keep it moving.
I hate to be this cynical at this point in my life, but I've seen enough football games that when a team makes that many mistakes in the first, second, third quarter, they're not going to come back from it. Like there was too much
You
left.
have not seen enough football then because you did not watch the Packers game. You did not watch the Jets game.
What was the final score of this game?
That's one game. I just
Right.
named two where it went the opposite.
Right, but
so it does happen.
But with this particular game, I knew I knew in the second quarter 49ers weren't going to win the game.
And that's why I'm out of the. That's why exactly
Hold on.
why.
So-
because I want to have hope that they are going to.
Well, I'm sorry that
And you don't.
That's delusion as far as I'm concerned. They left way too much on the field. They weren't going to. There was clearly they couldn't get it done. Clearly, but how am I wrong?
In my opinion, clearly they were in it until the end.
Yeah, again,
Even
I'm
with
not,
all those
I'm not trying to take
mistakes.
shots. I'm just saying this is why I have to back away because I want to have hope. Otherwise, why am I watching?
If
I knew they lost in the second quarter, I'm not watching the rest of the game.
There was a point in that game where that game could have been blown wide open, and we could have lost by 20 points.
Absolutely.
And it didn't
Without
happen.
the defense, because of the defense solely. The offense, and I'm not saying it's because the offense is bad. I'm saying they were with the injuries, the mistakes. They just the interceptions, the falling down interceptions. Or another wide receiver falls down, another fucking pick. The first one. The George Kittle, that fucking guy can suck dicks right now with that drop. Right, he was the one that dropped that ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
So why don't we just get right into the offense? Off the top, 3 sacks and 9 quarterback hits allowed, 3.6 yards per carry rush average for the team as a whole, 4 turnovers, 45% completion percentage from Jimmy, 1 for 4 in the red zone, and to finish on a bright note, we did have a relatively good 38% success rate on third downs
Against a team that was number 1 in the NFL.
against
Last year.
possibly the best defense we're going to face all year.
100% last year, they were the best defense on third down.
In my opinion, a lot of people would say
No, by the numbers, they were the best third down defense in the league last year.
okay.
100%.
Yeah.
They were definitely the best.
Who do you think was the better defense last year, Jacksonville or Minnesota?
Well, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, they're on the same level.
Yeah.
And we beat Jacksonville, so.
Yeah, I mean, for people that don't really know how good Minnesota's defense is, Minnesota's defense right now is comparable to Harbaugh's 49ers defense.
For sure.
Like, as far as fucking
I mean-
all pros, pro bowlers.
As far as I'm concerned, the offense, if Kittle catches the 80-yard touchdown, if Morris doesn't fumble on the 1-yard line on
Yeah.
second down,
Yeah.
that's 14 points.
Yep.
Add that to 16, that's 30 on a top 5 defense in the league.
Yeah. I mean,
That's the NFL. Now, that didn't happen. We lost the game. But the fact that those two things are the difference between a win and a loss gives me hope.
and that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
I'm
when
not.
I really
I'm
dug
not
in-
saying there's not hope or any of that, but I'm just saying as far as this game went, I just felt that there was too much left on it. 14 points, right there. You just said it like that, and that there was just too much.
so much meat left on the bone in this
Yeah,
game.
for sure.
George Kittle is on my shit list, like no question. Now I don't give a fuck how many 5 receptions for 90 yards. He can suck my fucking dick. He's not the offensive beast of the week. He's the fucking.
Garoppolo's presser today, they asked him about Kittle dropping the ball, and he goes, I didn't know that he dropped it. I thought I overthrew him because I got hit on the play and didn't see it until we watched it on film. So he thought it was his fault, and then they watched it on film, and he's like, oh, wait, no, it was actually perfect.
Well, one thing that was encouraging in this game is it started on the opening drive is that Jimmy started targeting Garcon early and often, and that was a connection that we didn't really see a lot of in the preseason. So we came into the season with a lot of questions whether they were going to click or not. So, but they did click. I mean, he was hitting them. I think he got 2 first downs with him on the opening drive.
And I hate to say it because Kittle's drop was more egregious, but your whole game is being a possession receiver. You got to come down with that touchdown.
Absolutely.
If your hands hit it. Now, if you're a guy whose whole game is speed and you don't come down with that, okay. But that's your game.
Yeah,
Like
that's what you bring
Anquan
to the
Bolden comes down with that fucking football.
100%. 100%. That was unforgivable. Once the opening drive, I mean, Jimmy threw some dangerous passes in this one. One to George Kittle, who had 3 defenders around him. It ended up falling incomplete. We were forced to punt around midfield. Getting into the first sack, I mean, Mike Person just gets completely blown up by Sheldon Richardson and allows a sack. The play also resulted, I don't know if you saw the replay, McGlinchey got pushed at the very end, and his ass landed directly on Jimmy's head. And I'm like, it was like a double whammy because he was already on the ground.
It's like a butt fumble.
The other glaring issue is I would say is that this probably relates to all the offensive line injuries, but just no run game. Nothing.
They did get into a bit of a rhythm at times in this game, especially, after one of the turnovers. We got the ball back and we ended up starting moving the ball a little bit. But the run game absolutely does need to get going. I don't think that Jerick McKinnon would have shown us more than what Morris and Breda were doing on the ground, because, McKinnon, everything was premised on his ability to catch the ball.
Yeah, he would have shown us something, but not that.
Well,
the game plan would have probably been different, too. Who knows? It changes everything.
But as far as a between-the-tackles runner, I'm fairly confident in saying that Alfred Morris is our best option in that area, and that's the area that needs the most help.
We ended up rushing for, 80-something yards?
The ending line, it ended up being all right, but,
And that's trying to play catch-up.
Yeah.
Which is, you're obviously going to go to the air more.
It's fairly obvious to me that Jimmy absolutely adores the middle of the field, and the Vikings did absolutely everything in their power to try to take it away. And even with that, Jimmy was able to dart some passes in there. One specifically to a throw to Garcon where he split two defenders to get it in there. Just a really high-velocity throw over the middle, and that's like his bread and butter, over the middle.
All I know is that watching the 49ers is much different than it's been for a long time. It's enjoyable to watch. I actually, at the beginning of a game, think that the team is going to win. That's new. That's enjoyable. And Kyle Shanahan is quite possibly the greatest offensive mind in football right now.
Yeah.
There's guys running so wide open that it doesn't even make sense. That use check pass, there was nobody within 20 yards of the fucking guy. And he's a fullback.
Yeah.
There's no one is scheming offense the way Kyle Shanahan is.
I don't think that any defensive coordinator in the league would disagree with you.
It's fucking wild.
Somebody might take McVay over Shanahan, or
as a head coach,
or even as an offensive mind. There might be, but you're not going to find a single person in the league that doesn't have Kyle Shanahan in their top 3 offensive minds in the game right now.
He said they've had 2 years to build this roster.
Yeah.
Imagine 2 years from now.
Right.
It's insane to me.
The following play after the Garcon throw I just mentioned was the touchdown to Pettis in the end zone, which was a absolute perfect pass. He was able to
on a broken play.
On a broken play, he eluded pressure. He ran left and threw right, which not a lot of quarterbacks can do that.
75% of quarterbacks are sacked before they even get over there.
And the catch was just as impressive as the throw.
Agree.
Fingertip catch. And he was very aware of where he was in the end zone to make sure he got 2 feet in bounds. That's one thing that you always worry about with rookies coming into the league, because in college, you only got to get 1 foot in bounds.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was a hell of a play by both Jimmy and Pettis.
I believe Dante Pettis was the most productive rookie wide receiver in the
was.
NFL. Week 1.
He was.
With 2 catches.
60 yards.
I know, yeah, I hear you. This is funny.
I don't know if you guys remember when we got down to the red zone again before we fumbled. There was a play that Kyle ran. It was like a little screen to Kittle. It ended up getting us like 9 yards. We were at like the 15-yard line, and that got us all the way down to like the 5-yard line. I've never seen that play in my life, and I was like, why has nobody ever done that before? Because it worked out so perfectly.
How about the drive when Joe was on a little delay and asked what happened, and we literally ran the same play 3 times in a row?
Yep.
And we went to the right. Then we went to the left, and then it was somebody else ran the same play to the right.
Yep.
It was like Kittle to the right, Kittle to the left, and then Juszczyk to the right, or something.
You know what that is?
It was the exact same play 3 times in a row.
That play set up that wide open shot to Kittle.
Yeah.
Because it's a mirror image of that play, except last minute
Sneaks out the middle.
Kittle ditches and just runs downfield.
So insane.
Although those 3 plays in a row set up that one shot.
And
later on in the game.
Who calls the same play 3 times in a row? After the second time, there's no way the defense is waiting for it again, and it happens again.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're looking for something different now.
Yeah.
So that screen pass that I love so much to Kittle that got us down to the 5 or 4 yard line, Minnesota actually got a holding penalty, which gave us a fresh set of downs at the 2 yard line. Brand new. 1st and goal at the 2 yard line.
Right? Gotta score.
Like, how could you not?
Yeah.
Will we ever have a competent red zone offense?
That's
better.
been a problem.
It's
even
better.
dating back to Harbaugh.
It's better because the problems now aren't getting the shots.
Right.
Forever, the problem was we never even threw the ball because we never even had a shot. These are different problems. I mean, that fumble, when's the last time Alfred Morris fumbled a fucking football?
But it just always happens. Last year, at the end of the year with Jimmy G, like he said, even with Harbaugh.
Yeah. I can't remember the last time that we had a average to above average
Steve
inefficiency rating red zone offense.
No,
that
I
put
hate to-
6 on the board. And
Yo,
not
I
3.
hate to say this. I think the year that it's been the best was Alex Smith, either first or second Harbaugh year.
Because our rushing was unstoppable. You just overpowered people. But our current offensive line is not overpowering the Minnesota Vikings defensive
Do
line.
we want to give Frank Orr a shout out now? He's close.
Yeah, 15 yards, man.
But they didn't give him the ball again after they came back from delay.
That was a weird game, man. It
That
was
was
the longest
fucked up.
fucking game in NFL history.
Yeah, they didn't. After they came back, he never got another touch.
He'll get it.
Oh, he'll get it this week.
He'll get it 100%.
He needs 1,300 yards to pass the other dick.
So, did any of you mention? I don't know if Rob, you said that Morris owned up to the fact that he fumbled because he had sweaty forearms.
Yeah. That's just looking for an answer.
Yeah.
Especially from a guy that doesn't fumble.
The play before he
He fumbled.
lost the fumble.
Oh, yeah.
He almost fumbled there.
Oh, he definitely fumbled there.
Ugh. But I mean, on the
In
actual
fact,
fumble,
when something like that happens, I feel so confident about the next one. He's like, I'm not going to fumble again. Especially
Right.
a guy like that. He fucking fumbles.
right? Because you're like, damn,
It's
I almost
ridiculous.
lost that one. I'm definitely not losing this one. But on that actual fumble where he lost the ball, Joshua Garnett gets upended on the play, which allowed a majority of the penetration. Just complete, like, you know how offensive linemen pancake defensive linemen? It was opposite.
Is that when he stubbed his toe?
Joshua Garnett actually elevated in the air, and that allowed about 3 to 4 Minnesota Vikings to penetrate that hole. So
I don't think.
You hear that, Joe?
What?
3 to 4 Vikings.
Penetration,
Penetrated that
Well,
hole.
yeah, he was fucking penetrated. That fuck. I mean, I just don't know how as a man you're gonna get carted off because of a fucking toe. The fuck out of here. It's unacceptable.
Ronnie,
It's-
Ronnie Lott was probably cringing.
I was cringing. Now that I know, I really expected death. Like, oh, we had to take the leg.
Had to put him down.
Yeah.
I mean, what,
Joshua Garnett has one leg. You know, like, okay, all right, yeah, that's the.
I mean, the injury's whatever with me, but what disappoints me so much is that right there at the 2-yard line on a rushing attempt is supposed to be his strong suit.
He's a mauler.
He's a mauler. He's supposed to be a mauler, but the dude gets upended, actually leaves his feet. We already mentioned the massive drop by Kittle on the 20, or would have been
80
fucking
yard
80-yard touchdown. Yeah, ridiculous. And then on the very next play, it was the pick six. Minnesota ran an overload blitz on the strong side, and I have no fucking clue what Morris was doing in pass protection, but he wasn't pass protecting. And he shifted to the weak side. He shifted to the side that brought no blitz. He literally had to cross over Jimmy's face to go to the side where defenders weren't rushing in. I have no idea what that play was, if it was supposed to be a screen over there, but that was just piss poor on Morris's part. And the pick six, that was
So
where...
glad you're able to explain these things in such clarity for me, Steve.
I mean, I can tell you what happened. I don't know what the play is supposed to be.
It was a fucking abortion.
But I do know that Kendrick Bourne ran the wrong route, and that's what allowed
Professional athletes, millions of dollars.
the corner to make the play on the ball and obviously run free. I mean, at the very least, if he had ran the right route, if he didn't catch the ball, he would have been able to make a play on the ball to make sure it wasn't picked off.
Now, if Marquise Goodwin does not get injured, is Kendrick Bourne on the field for that play?
Probably not.
Probably Dante, right?
Probably Marquise. I mean,
Well, Marquise would be somewhere. They
yeah.
probably all shuffled around, but
yeah.
It's just crazy, like the amount of mistakes that you've rattled off on the offense here.
Oh, so much meat left on the bone. As soon as I started digging into this, I mean, I was like, there's the ones that everybody talks about all week. You got the Kittle drop, the Garcon drop, the fumble at the
you
2.
keep digging. There's
but there is so
piles of
much
but
there.
it's just like, what have they been doing?
It's execution. I mean, offenses typically take about 3 to 4 weeks to finally hit their stride.
every one of these names is a first or second year player. Also,
Yeah,
we haven't used a name.
Not Morris. He just said Alfred Morris made a terrible in pass block. What was he doing? He crossed Jimmy G's vision to go to the side where
He
there was
did.
no pass rush.
Yeah, horrible pass protection.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just a missed assignment.
And
he
Garcon,
knows.
we talked about that. But the majority of these issues are first and second year guys.
I'm just saying, but again, these
Or
people are
George
professional
Kittle.
athletes making millions of dollars. We don't make these types of mistakes at our jobs. If we did, we'd be fucking unemployed, and these guys are fucking put on pedestals. I want goddamn W's.
Imagine Kittle makes that catch, 6 receptions for 170 and a touchdown.
Insane. And I think there was another one in there too. I don't know if I.
Yeah,
got
he
it down
definitely
here.
has more drops than that one.
He doesn't want to be a baller.
I'm not putting the pick six on Jimmy. I mean, he got
I am.
overloaded on the blitz, 100%. He had to get rid of that ball. He's supposed to be able to trust his receivers to be in the right spot when they're supposed to be there, especially if the
when
guy's
he threw
playing
the ball,
off coverage.
the break hadn't happened yet.
The break had not
No,
happened
the ball
yet.
went where it was supposed to go.
I'm not putting that one on Jimmy. There's another one that I am, but not that one.
Well, it wasn't the first one, because the dude fell down. Who was it, Kendrick? Or who was that fell down?
That was
Pettis.
That was Pettis,
Yeah.
and honestly,
The only one you can put on Jimmy G is the last one.
Pettis didn't fall down. Jimmy threw it too far in front of him, and if I listened to a couple people talk about this pick where Pettis ran the route, he definitely threw in an extra juke move to come into that slant, and I think that the extra juke, which worked magnificently, I mean, he was able
Also
to create.
juked Jimmy G.
He didn't get there in the exact time that he was supposed to be there because of the extra juke he put on the defender. I think that's Pettis ran a lot with the second team in the preseason and in training camp, and I don't think that they're quite there yet on that connection. Although they did make a lot of great plays this game, I think little things like that, like Marquise Goodwin probably runs that route differently than Dante Pettis does. I think that's kind of what it comes down to, and he just overthrew it. And that interception by, I think it was Hughes, 99 times out of 100, that's an incomplete pass. But the dude puts his arm out, the ball hits his arm, bounces off his face mask, and it just lands right in his arms, like, so gracefully. I'm like, that doesn't just happen all the time. You talked about the finding Juice down the sideline, wide open, 50-yard touchdown. I mean, Jimmy was sitting back there for about 4 seconds, so I got to give the offensive line props there. There were a couple times in this game where they definitely held their blocks. The Garcon touchdown drop that we talked about. Gary Gilliam, when he's at right tackle, I mean, he just gets beat badly around the edge by Daniil Hunter, and then just completely whiffs on his pass block. His hands were swatted away like they weren't even there, and that ended up being another sack on Garoppolo.
Oh, what? Forget it.
Okay.
We fucked up.
Jimmy also finds Pettis later in the game, who just completely toasted Mike Hughes. A catch and run down the sideline, go for 40 yards. He ran like an in and an out route, and Mike Hughes was just left standing there. Pettis is going to be a fucking player, man.
Yep.
Like,
Everyone thought they were crazy when they moved up and got him in the second round. Everyone thought they were crazy.
I mean, if they know how to use them, it's good, Clearly they do. Did he ever rush, too, or no?
No, he didn't ever rush.
No, I don't know why I thought.
He could. He's that kind of guy, though.
No,
that would run
I think
that play.
Marquise had a jet sweep.
I thought somebody did.
Or Bourne, one of them.
Yeah, so I thought.
On the same drive where Pettis set us up for that 40-yard gain that set us up in good field position, we end up working our way down the field, and Jimmy overthrows Kittle in the end zone, which would have surely been a touchdown. I mean, that seems to be the theme for him this game. When he misses, he overthrows.
Well, hopefully that's not a theme moving forward.
And I talked about the absolute horrendous pass protection job by Morris earlier in the game. So here we are, 3rd and 5. We're down by 8 with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. We're at midfield. Crunch time. Minnesota sends an overload blitz to the weak side this time. And Breda makes a horrible read in pass protection. He lets a rusher go by him. Literally just lets him go by him. And chooses to block the rusher that was a step behind, the one that he should have blocked. Jimmy had to get rid of the ball a second earlier than he had to, and had absolutely no chance. He was just crushed. And the third
this team
interception.
has been unable to pass protect from the running back position since Frank Gore was let go.
Yes, they have. 100%.
And I think also, as 49er fans, we probably were spoiled for so long because Frank was a fucking monster.
Yep.
I mean, nobody's done it better than him.
Nope.
I mean, he would upend a fucking linebacker.
You didn't even think about it anymore.
Yeah.
It was just a thing.
I mean, he would Debo a linebacker like they're supposed to Debo him.
He just knew. He knew how to do it.
The third interception, that would pretty much seal the game. McGlinchey gets beat almost immediately when he's playing right guard, out of position. It definitely forced Jimmy to hurry up his pass, but he threw it into triple coverage. While Pettis had one-on-one coverage on a Texas route, he was wide open. It was only second down. Jimmy did not have to force that ball. It wasn't fourth down with the game on the line. It was second down with a minute and 45 seconds left on the clock. Granted, we were deep in our own territory, but I'm putting that one 100% on Jimmy. Regardless of who gets beat on the offensive line, you do not force that ball into triple coverage. Throw it away. Do anything else with it.
Yeah, I'm not fuck Kirk Cousins, but he even threw that one. They were in the lead, I understand, but he threw it away on third down and then had to punt, yeah?
I think that the game-sealing interception is probably the only one that I'm going to place 100% on Jimmy.
The second one was...
The second, I would say maybe half Jimmy, half Pettis. You don't know what's going on there, but definitely that game-sealing interception was a bad one. But so much meat left on the bone by this offense.
Okay. Yeah.
So
a lot of meat on my dick for you, too, huh?
Yes.
Slide that in. I don't have it.
You know.
I asked, is there a new one? And I don't know. You tell me yes. Where am I going to get it?
You know.
I
on,
don't
Rob.
know what
You
we
know. You know.
You know what?
Does anyone know
You know.
anything?
You all know.
I'm trying to know right
You
now.
all know. Ever since I started this podcast, people have been asking me for advice. Usually, it's what team to bet on this week. Truth is, I don't know. Although, my picks have been pretty good, let's be honest.
I only picked the 49ers.
I don't know who's going to win besides Washington. But
And the 49ers.
if you think you know, you got to check out my bookie.
My bookie has been in the business for years, and their customer service is top-notch.
And don't forget, who you're betting on is just as important as who you're betting with. That's why I always tell people to bet with my bookie. Trust me, guys, they are your best bet this season. Get it?
I heard they have player perks.
True.
Want to tell me about them? Or I can tell you about them.
I just got it.
It's an email, Steven.
I mean, I would only recommend a service that's been good to me, and I've been just killing it on my bookie.
Well, from what I understand, they have in-game live betting, over-under on fantasy points. Did we already do this?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay. Over-under on fantasy points scored, and the most rewarding player perks in the fucking business, guy. So, yeah, my bookie, yeah, they're slammed.
All right, let's just move on to the defense.
What's the promo code?
Gold blood. One
25.
word.
I thought that there was a new one. Yo, guy, this is your deal. You're supposed to... I know the things...
My fucking deal?
Yeah, you know these people.
This is my deal. I
No.
spent like 3 hours on this.
Hold on. There's a new promo code, I believe.
Are you working on it here? What do we got going on?
I mean...
What a fucking mess.
Holy shit.
You want to just hit pause?
No, we're already done.
Hold on.
I'm going to go to sleep in about
Okay.
30 seconds.
There will be 2 promo code mentions. The code hasn't changed, but we'd like to increase nightly traffic and other incentives. So there is a mention at the end to add 25 at the end of the promo code to help encourage nightly traffic. So the promo code is Gold Blood or Blooded
Gold blood.
25. And now, not only will we match you 100%, but there will be an extra $25 free pay.
Oh.
100% plus 25 free play.
Yo,
Look at
you
that.
play,
You win.
You fucking get paid.
paid, and use that promo code GoldBlood25.
The best part is they'll never listen to our podcast to know that I just read his email out loud.
No, never.
They don't give a fuck.
All right, on to the defense. Off the top, 1 turnover, 3 sacks, and 6 quarterback hits. 41% allowed success rate on third downs. That's not good. 6 for 55 receiving yards allowed to running backs. That was a big standout to me, and that's where you're missing Reuben Foster. 1 for 2 red zone attempts allowed.
Can we just say that, the obvious?
Probably the first name that I have written down here.
Just state it.
DeForest Buckner is just a man-child.
Taking the next step, finally?
On his first sack, he just blows past the guard. And it was, honestly, I watched the guard. It was just poor technique by the guard. He had no chance already with that technique, let alone going against a possible Defensive Player of the Year candidate in DeForest Buckner.
So he's on pace for 40 sacks this year. What do you get? Take the over-under?
I'm definitely taking the under. A lot of every single one of his sacks this week was a coverage sack.
What's the MyBookie odds on DeForest Buckner being Defensive Player of the Year?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Do you have it?
Do they let that? Do they have that? They got to have that, right?
They probably do.
Old typist is on it. He's on the case. I heard a click, click, click. He's on the case.
No, he was just shutting down.
Because as far as I'm concerned, it's a fucking lock.
He was shutting down the smut or whatever he's doing over there because he thought you were going to look at his screen.
As far as I'm concerned, it's a lock. How does he not win it?
Trying to think of who he's actually competing with here.
Not competing with anyone.
Anyone.
No one's on his level.
Well, I guess, is J.J. Watt playing this year?
He
Fuck
is,
him.
but he's a shell of himself. He's not the same guy.
Fuck him.
So
I tell you who's not winning Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive Player of the Week.
Are you talking about
or
something that
Defensive
happened
Player
at the end
of
of
the
the
fucking
game?
hour or Defensive Player of fucking anything is the fucking dumbest fucking defensive player in the entire fucking NFL. I was sitting on my couch and I knew that there was a 0.0% chance that Kirk Cousins was going to take a fucking snap on that fucking ball, and this fucking stupid fucking cunt jumps. How the fuck do you jump on that?
Who was that?
How?
Armstead?
Solomon fucking
Thomas,
Thomas.
94.
How the fuck do you not see the gigantic play clock in front of your fucking stupid face that says 0? How the fuck do you jump? I swear to God, if they cut him the next day, I would not have felt fucking bad at
agree.
all. I would have said, I would fucking cut him.
I completely agree, yeah.
And fuck everyone standing next to him for not going, if any of you fucking move, I swear to God, I'll cut your dick off.
That's another guy that's not a first or second year guy that's making fucking mistakes. Again, $1 million fucking athletes making fucking piss poor mistakes.
he's a second-year
He's
guy.
definitely a second year guy. But that it's an inexcusable mistake. There's no how the fuck
It's
did
par
you
for the course with him.
even if he jumped on like the first or second fake snap, I would be pissed, but not as pissed. The clock was at 0, you fucking
All you
moron.
had to do was
It
sit
almost
down.
looked like Kirk Cousins gave up and was like, they're not falling for it. Oh, let's try one more time. What the fuck? We got the time. Like, that's what it looked like on TV. And this fucking... And someone else almost did. I don't know if it was Armstead or... There was 2 people that fucking moved, but he just moved more.
Yeah, that was a frustrating one.
You gotta be fucking kidding. I almost threw my fucking TV through the window.
If you hear Tim Ryan talk about Solomon Thomas, everything he said about last year and how his season was a little bit more underwhelming than what you would expect from the number 3 overall pick is that he is overthinking everything, and he's not just playing. And I can totally see him out there overthinking things that he's not thinking clearly.
Let's say the fucking Vikings snap the ball for some insane fucking reason and go for it on 4th down.
I have seen
with
that.
a fucking lead.
I've seen that before.
There is no chance that Zimmer, the fucking
No.
defensive fucking coach, is going for that.
You don't
4th
bite
down.
on it, but I
you
have
turn
seen
the
it.
ball over at midfield, down by 1 score to Jimmy Garoppolo,
Yeah.
and you will never fucking live it down.
Yeah.
But let's just say he does. Let's just say, some fucking insane reason, Kirk Cousins goes rogue and snaps the ball, and they get a 1st down. Nobody is shooting Solomon Thomas for them getting the 1st down. If that's their only reason, you don't fucking move for that reason.
Yeah. 100%.
And in my opinion, changes everything because Jimmy's got more time to work with, less panic. That last pick maybe doesn't happen.
Yeah. Potentially a punt return that
I
you get
couldn't-
some more yards.
When I was like, the Vikings must have been like, holy shit, he fucking fell for it. Like, that's literally what they had to think. Like, they must have went, at the end of the game, when their locker room talk must have been about that. Like, hey, remember when that fucking moron jumped off sides? Like,
Yo, just so you know, on mybookie.ag, you can gamble. Will the San Francisco 49ers go 0-16? Wager cuts off September 16th at 1 p.m. Yes is plus 2,000. $1,000, whatever the fuck that means.
That means if you bet $100, you will win $2,000.
If they go 0
I
and
believe
16.
I believe 100 is the
Yeah.
It's a multiplier
Right.
in decimals. So, like, it's a 1.2 multiplier. What was it, 2,000? It's a 2 multiplier. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
First coach to be fired in the regular season. They give you a bunch.
What was the no? What was the money line?
There
on the
was no. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it wasn't there.
You probably can't bet that.
So on the opening drive where we actually forced a punt once they got to like midfield, can we all agree that Armstead got so fucking lucky for not getting flagged for roughing the passer? I mean, because after Cousins threw the ball,
just because there's no reason. Yeah.
No, you were right.
after Cousins threw the ball, Armstead gave him a little push, and Cousins ended up, because he was on the move, he ended up falling down out of bounds. I don't know how that didn't get flagged, because I feel like if that was...
Especially quarterbacks.
If that was against us, I'd be standing up screaming for a flag right there.
So if you bet 100, you win 2,000.
Yeah, so the negative...
Which is nothing. For them to go 0-16, that seems like it should be way higher odds.
Right?
And the negatives mean that's how much it would cost you to get 100.
Right.
So if it's negative 200, it would cost $200 to get $100.
Got it. I mean, other than that fucking moron jumping off sides, which I can't even talk about it anymore. This defense held a Kirk Cousins offense with some weapons
Arguably the best combo at receiver in the league.
to 17 points.
Yeah.
I can't put this on the D. 3 in a row, 3 and outs in the fourth quarter when we need a score.
I mean, looking around the league...
How do you... you can't ask for more than that.
Between Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Kyle Rudolph, and Dalvin Cook, if you had to take each team's cluster of skill position players and rank
They're up
them,
there, at the very least.
they're up
way
there.
up there. Yeah.
I mean,
And
you
again-
saw it on Diggs. I mean, he just completely unraveled Sherman on an outside curl route. Like, I don't even think Sherman in his prime could have kept up with that. I could see Sherman having problems this year, especially with the faster receivers like that. When we go face Brandon Cooks, who's now a Ram, I see that being a problem. 100% being a problem. I think that Sherman could handle the bigger body receivers. If we face Amari Cooper or Larry Fitzgerald, I could see Sherman doing all right there. But the small, faster receivers, I see being a big problem for us.
Yo, my bookie is an impressive sight. I tell you, man, this is fucking wild.
They have the offensive rookie.
Yeah, I see that.
I'm not looking for rookie of the year.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
looking for
player of the year. They don't have any of that.
don't
I
have
just went
player.
all through it. Yeah.
Just only have offensive rookie of the year. That's it.
What's Dante Pettis' odds on that?
Let's see if he's on here.
He's got to be.
It's going to be a bunch of quarterbacks.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
going to be a bunch of
lot.
quarterbacks
Arnold.
and running backs, because running backs typically make a bigger impact in their rookie year.
Plus $5,000.
So you win more money if Dante Pettis is Offensive Player of the Year than if the 49ers go 0-16. It really seems off to me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, even though, like, I'm not saying he's a favorite to win or anything like that, but I feel like that's a better chance than 0-16.
Right.
Jaleel Sky is 20,000 plus 20,000.
Who's the best odds?
That's the best. There's a guy 125 is Sam Darnold.
Yeah, after that first game.
Yeah, right now those odds aren't going to get any better.
Saquon Barkley.
Or Saquon.
I like that he said that like he's never heard the name before. Like every single NFL talk ever wasn't about him all offseason. Brady? Tom Brady? Seems like, I guess he's a quarterback. Guess he throws a football or something.
All right. Going back to Stephon Diggs, who ended up scoring a touchdown on Witherspoon, Witherspoon had him in tight coverage. I mean, that was just an unbelievable throw from Cousins to Diggs. Perfect ball placement. The only thing I put on Witherspoon is that he's got to get his head around and locate the ball. He's got to get his hand up earlier and much higher than he did. But at the end of the day, that was just a great throw and catch. The catch was pretty basic. The throw was pretty phenomenal.
I think Richard Sherman is, first of all, he played every single down on defense.
Very encouraging.
Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah.
He got a couple bad plays, like 2 or 3.
But, I mean, better than we've seen a corner play for the 49ers
sure, no
in a long
question.
time.
Yeah.
And I think what we're not seeing is how much more he adds to the defense that has nothing to do with his play.
Right.
He's a defensive coordinator on the field.
Yep.
Especially in a defense full of 1- and 2-year players and 3-year players. Like, he is the veteran presence.
You saw it in Kawan Williams had a
Yeah.
great game. in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's helping everyone.
Uh,
Even just directing traffic.
Tart, great game this week. I mean, especially in the run game. Showed up huge in run support.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
seemed
there
like
was
he was
at
there
least
every time.
3 times where he was stopping running backs either at the line of scrimmage or before it or right after it. The missed tackles by the second and third level of this defense was a common theme in the first half.
Especially early. Brutal.
In the first half, they could not get anybody down. It seemed like every single catch and run was 2 missed tackles, 3 missed tackles.
Even the fucking Fred Warner first forced fumble should have never got to him.
Right.
It should have been stopped fucking 20 yards before it got to him.
Fred Warner just makes a huge play. I mean, it was just a textbook punch tackle from behind. And it was great hustle by him because the rest of the team had stopped and slowed down because they thought the play was over.
Yeah.
And Fred Warner was the first one to realize, no, the play's not over yet. I need to go fucking get this guy.
Yo, your boy, he ain't even on the list for Defensive Player of the Year. Believe that?
Who's at the top?
J.J. Watt, Joey Bosa, Aaron Donald, Khalil Mack, Von Miller, Jalen Ramsey, Myles Garrett, Kuechly, Cameron Jordan, DeMarcus Lawrence, Chandler Jones. This is in order, top to,
Yeah.
Campbell, Fletcher Cox, Harrison Smith. Fletcher Cox is still in the NFL. Bobby Wagner, Earl Thomas, Xavier Rhodes, Matthew, Bradley Chubb,
That's
Miles
insane.
Jack.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane that
Fletcher
Buckner's not
Cox
even on
is
the
on
list.
the list.
Well, he's really good.
Yeah,
I'm not
but
going to
at
say
this
he's not
point
good.
in his career,
Yes.
fuck out of here. No way he's winning Defensive Player of the Year.
Probably not, but he's still damn fucking good.
No way. No way he should even be ahead of Rhodes.
I think he has a place on that list.
Holy fuck.
But the Buckner not being on that list is absolutely insane. You said Tyrann Mathieu on that list?
Yeah.
The guy who didn't play all of last year?
It's a joke.
And half of the year before?
I'm looking at one more here, and nope.
So, I'm on when it comes to Reuben Foster, I'm somewhere between Steve and Joe. Right? Like, in Steve's eyes,
he's the best.
he's the best ever.
No,
He's
that's definitely
in
not
Steve's
the
eyes,
case.
Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis couldn't hold a candle to Reuben Foster.
The ceiling
fuck
is
off.
so
In
much
Joe-
higher.
In Joe's eyes, Reuben Foster it might as well go play fucking
in
Pop Warner.
in traffic.
in Joe's eyes, Reuben Foster's going to get injured against 6-year-olds and not play it down.
And Reuben
And I'm-
Foster's got
and
a
I'm somewhere
lot-
in the middle of those two.
He's got a lot to prove to me.
But I'll tell you what, I am fucking through the roof on Fred Warner.
Yeah, I agree. 11 tackles, a
And
forced fumble.
It's just a different thing. Like, Reuben Foster is exciting to watch because he's all over the place. He's fucking smashing people. It's almost like a baby arms.
It's baby
thing.
arms.
But Fred Warner looks like an NFL middle fucking linebacker.
Yeah.
That it's going to be a problem for every defense to deal with.
Do you know when I had my gut feeling about Fred Thomas? What's his name? Fred Warner. The first time I heard his name, and I was like, "That's so pedestrian. He's
Yeah.
gonna be money.
Yeah.
Like he's money. Like
Yeah.
it's just like
There's no apostrophe in
No,
it.
no,
There's no
it's just-
fucking yeah.
Fred Warner. Like might be a garbage man, might be a doctor. You don't know,
Probably
but
works in a factory.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, maybe he's a manager. You don't know, but
Yeah.
Fred Warner in a
Yeah.
factory. But you knew it. You just knew he was going to come to work every day. You know what I mean?
Fred
Yeah.
Warner to the produce department.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing out of the ordinary.
After Solomon Thomas jumped off sides, the pass breakup
Fred
by
Warner,
Fred
clean
Warner
up in
on
aisle
third
6.
down.
Fred Warner, aisle
Money.
6.
Yeah,
Complete
I'm,
money.
I'm through the roof.
Yeah.
First NFL game, clearly the second best defensive player on the fucking team, clearly for that game. And if DeForest Buckner wasn't there, he's head and shoulders the best defensive player on the fucking field.
Yeah.
He's taking care of everything. He's calling the plays, and the fact that the ceiling of him and Foster together, like what it could be, is super exciting.
Hope they like each
Now,
other.
the reality of what Foster's going to do, who knows? But the ceiling is fucking through the roof with the two of them.
Yep.
I mean, the two of them could make John Lynch's career as a fucking draft.
Could. Yeah.
Could.
Yeah, if his vagina heals.
John Lynch is setting a high bar for himself because this is now 2 years in a row where we go, get a load of these fucking rookies.
Yeah.
When's the last time we said that? Get a load of these rookies. Like, not just one.
And I think that there's a lot of Shanahan in there.
100%.
Like, I know that John Lynch didn't go.
Shanahan runs this organization.
John Lynch did not go Dante Pettis is who we're taking in the second round because that wide receiver skills.
Yeah.
That's all Shanahan.
Yes.
And conversely, John Lynch is probably the one that decided we were taking Solomon Thomas.
Yeah. Probably. So, moving on. The Buckner's second sack that ended up coming in Hail Mary time. That was, I believe, 6 seconds left on the clock in the second quarter. Cousins had the ball at midfield, and Salah sends a blitz at Cousin as Minnesota ran 4 verticals. The pressure completely boggled his mind and threw him off, and that's what was able to get force Buckner home. That was a very risky call by Salah, but it paid off big time.
Yep.
That's one of those gut feeling calls that might work out and it might kill us.
Yep,
but it ended up working out pretty good because just you could see it in Cousins' face. Once he saw the rush coming, he couldn't concentrate on anything other than getting away, which he couldn't get away. It's hard to get away from Buckner.
Am I looking at a fantasy draft board right now in your basement?
Yeah, that's from last weekend. I hosted.
Get the fuck out of here.
You guys act like fantasy football is like skipping, like we all go skip rocks in a lake. Like
no, we don't. We didn't say anything like that. We just say that it's stupid and gay.
Well, yeah. I mean, I understand that opinion.
It's fucking
but
dumb. That's
it's
all.
so outrageous that the fantasy board that we had draft last week is in my basement.
No, it's outlandish that you
to
have
me,
a fantasy draft
to me,
board.
it's like a guy that makes a cardboard sword and then they fucking
right.
That's all.
Exactly.
That's how I see it.
I'd rather
That's
go.
why it's called fantasy football. It's the same as fantasy cardboard sorting.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess real life's a little more interesting.
See, the difference between Rob and Joe is Rob just doesn't like it, and he's fine that it exists. Joe cannot stand that this concept exists, and not only exists, but dominates and runs, like, basically is the lifeblood of the NFL. The NFL would not be what it is today if it wasn't for fantasy football.
Well, I don't like what the NFL is today, so, yeah,
I'm
you're
also
right.
I also am a person that's very interested in human behavior, and the fact that it is so big is so mind-boggling to me.
It's not
it blows
to me.
My
it's
fucking
not to
mind.
me. Here's why. Because it, makes people who genuinely like the sport of football and the hoopla of Sundays be even more involved. Oh, I could pick players. They're on my team. You know what I mean? Like,
you know what it is to me?
I'm
going to offend everyone in the room on this. To me, it's much like golf, and it's much like fishing. There's a percentage of people that like to go fishing. There's a percentage of people that like to play golf. There's a percentage of people that like to play fantasy football. And then there's a whole lot more people that hate their wives, hate their kids, hate their jobs, hate everything in their fucking life. And it's a way to get away from all that dumb shit. Their fucking ugly wives, their fucking dumb fucking bratty kids, their fucking shitty job because they don't make enough money because they're a lazy cunt. And they need some escape from that. So they go play golf on Sunday, which means they drink 400 beers with their fucking douchebag friend that also hates his fucking family, and they don't give a fuck about golf. It's a reason to get away from their shitty life and get drunk with their friends.
But it's different. But there is also an aspect of playing golf or fishing that there's like genuine skill in.
Oh, of course, that's why I said there's a group. There's a group of people there that are there to play golf and want to get better at golf.
Right.
And
100%.
Oh, yeah. But the same thing with fishing.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah.
How many people go fishing to go catch a fucking
shoot
fish?
heroin.
I mean, come on. You're there to drink beer and get away from your fucking wife
and shoot heroin.
I mean, it's gotta be. I hope that's what it is.
No, I hear you. Yeah, no, but it is an escape from that for sure. A fantasy football, that is. But I don't know. It's just football is about violence. It's not about who's my starting flex receiver this week. It's about getting drunk and getting in a fist fight in a bar on Sundays. That's what football is about. Not about, what did DeAndre Hopkins do this week?
Well, I mean, if football was about what you just said, then there wouldn't be any head coaches in the NFL. There wouldn't be any scouts in the NFL.
Listen, this is my NFL. You have yours. I have mine. All right.
Yeah, I've said it a million times. The problem is I would get obsessed and I'd probably get good at it and I could probably even make money at it. But I don't want to look at any player on any other fucking team. I don't want to fucking root for them. I don't want to fucking. I can't do it.
I would be probably 100% down if you could give me all Niners.
And
I'd roll with it.
It's ignorant. It's pure ignorance. I know that.
Like, I'm going to take a chance with the team that I'm rooting for anyway. I'm going to put my money into them, and if they can compete and win me money, fuck it. That's what I'm going to roll with. But other than that, I don't give a fuck what Kirk Cousins does and what fucking Eddie Lacy. Oh, he's my workhorse. That's your boy. I'll never forget that, Eddie fucking Lacy.
I don't understand this concept. He had a great career for about 3 years.
That's not a great career. That's a great 3 years.
Which is par for the course with a lot of running backs.
Fuck him, too. Fuck him, too.
This all stems from his rookie year, which is our first year recording the show, And we had a week 1 matchup against the Packers, and I said that Eddie Lacy is a guy that you need to keep tabs on. That's all I said. And Joe was so mind blown that I said a rookie running back is something to be worried about.
Well, now, here's what you're gonna worry about. It's the Beast of the Week for the first time this year. Okay, let's go.
What nobody at home could see is that I've been waiting for the perfect time to orchestrate that. And I was like, how do I get him to do it right now? I had to turn the
Just show it
iPad
to
around
me.
and point to it.
There's no
Because
other way
I
it's gonna go
I
down.
know anyone that's listened to this show for more than 4 seconds is like, oh, here these assholes go again. We get it. You like it and you don't.
All right, I'm stepping up to the plate first because I don't want anyone to steal my
Did I
answer.
wake the baby? Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well,
Hear the
if
dryer?
it's on that list, you ain't stealing shit. I put him up there.
My offensive beast of the week is Kyle Shanahan.
Not up there.
All right. Fair enough.
That dude did his fucking job on Sunday.
certainly did.
100%.
I'm going with Mike McGlinchey. His first game in the NFL at a critical offensive line position. with-
Against the Minnesota Vikings.
against a
in
formidable
Minnesota.
defense. Then,
Listen, you could keep saying that, but I'm not impressed by you saying that.
then for the first time,
According to Joe, there is no good team.
No.
and then for the first time in his life, playing guard in an NFL football game, which is also his first NFL football game. I couldn't ask for more from a rookie.
Yeah.
I mean, you expect a rookie to maybe cycle in a couple times in his first game. He played every down at 2 different positions. I can't ask for more.
I'm going with the other rookie, the black guy with the blue hair. He's
That's his name from now on, the black guy with the blue hair.
He's became the favorite in my house. Like Baby and I were talking about him, and I was like, "Get a load of
He
this
fits.
dude."
I think we called that.
yeah,
didn't
we talked about it.
I don't see it. It doesn't fit, I don't
No,
think.
it does.
2 receptions, a
His
touchdown.
personality-wise doesn't fit.
Yeah, it does.
Because
Look at
Dante
blue
Pettis
hair.
is really soft-spoken,
Nah.
nice guy.
You don't dye your hair blue if you ain't looking for attention, homie.
one way or the other.
I
Ain't
guess
nobody
I could
dyes
see
their hair
that.
blue to go fucking be an accountant.
I think he's just different.
Good.
Nah.
That
Just
works
a little-
too. But that
It's
works
like
too.
right up.
But
This
like-
guy, he's got a fucking braid in his hair.
Different in like an artistic way, though. Not like...
Look at his watch.
It's a
Look
golf-
at his fucking
it's a
hair.
golf watch. It's a golf watch.
100%. 100% we should have seen it better. The blue hair, the whole fucking...
I agree. No, and Baby and I had a discussion about
It
it.
snuck up on him. Joe doesn't want to replace Crabtree, is what it comes down
If
to.
you recall
and
to the
Pettis is
draft-
going to sneak up on him.
If you recall to the draft
Oh, it's
episode...
here. No, I'm accepting it. It's here. I'm telling you. Come on. I'm not lying. I'm telling you, we had a conversation about it. We voted him in. He's there. He's the guy.
If you recall to the draft episode after we drafted him, and I got to Dante Pettis, I compared him to Michael Crabtree, and Joe almost fell out of his chair. He came right
Dude,
at
I'm
me.
still
I told you
offended
he
by
didn't
that.
want... He doesn't want to replace Crabtree,
Right.
but
You'll
it's gonna
never.
happen.
No one will ever be
Play
Michael
style-wise,
Yeah.
he reminds me a lot of Crabtree.
Crabtree. I know. No way.
Well, young Crabtree before the Achilles and
I
all
don't
that.
know. But I always saw him even more always a possession receiver. Crabtree. That was kind of.
I see this. I see him as a possession receiver who can run deep.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see. See what he could do. Petite.
Speaking of Joe's hair, the guy who matches Joe's hair to a T is my defensive beast of the week, and Fred Warner. You two have matching hair.
I didn't know he had hair like that.
Yeah.
I thought he was a black guy.
Very similar to yours.
I thought he was a black guy.
Well, he is, but same hairstyle.
Okay.
I
didn't know black people had ponytails, but okay.
I had to put Fred Warner on there because of he's a rookie and it's his first NFL game, but I can't not to give it to
Nope.
DeForest Buckner.
Yeah, I would agree. I
I just
agree,
feel
too.
wrong
Yep.
not giving it to the guy who got 2.5 sacks.
The guy who there was pressure on him to, at least in this room, we're talking that he's going to be the
He's the
defensive
guy.
player
He
of
has
the
to
room,
be.
and that pressure's must be on him, and he performed.
And the entire
there's also 3 tackles for loss that you didn't put up there. So
the entire offseason, all the talk was where's the pass rush going to come from, and he all this time has been going, all right, motherfuckers, you want to see where it's from, and rips off 2.5 sacks.
I agree.
You can't knock the.
No, we
DeForest Buckner pick.
we're on the same page there. Yeah. So here's what you can do. Now that we're back on our fucking game, as you could see, now you motherfuckers, let's start paying us. Yo, Duffy had a request, and he said it might be a good idea to set up some sort of PayPal or something linked to us, so when people have money, if they want to make a one-time donation, Oh, you can do one-time donations through Patreon?
Yeah.
All right, well, there
They
you
have
go.
that option.
Supposedly there's a one-time payment option with Patreon. So if anybody wants to just, haul off and send us a couple grand or whatever, go to Patreon /Gold-Blooded Podcast. We appreciate it. You can email us because we'd like getting our emails. You could leave us voicemails via the email. We'll play those fuckers on air if you guys want to hear yourselves. We'll make you famous. We don't care. At least in this room of 4 people. goldbloodedpodcast@gmail.com. There is an Instagram and a Twitter. Gold-Blooded Podcast, one word on the Instagram. Gold-Blooded Pod on the Twitter. Mike Curran runs those. He's got some things going on. I don't know. I haven't had much time. I've been on the run. All right. You know what we're going to do. We're going to do another episode, so we'll be back with that shortly, you cunts.